All round, there it is. Happy days. We're just getting straight on with it. Right then guys, welcome to another episode of Hooked. My name's John Murray and I'm an angling addict, and today we're back on the Aire Calder Canal between Whitley and Heck. Now I've actually drawn about 20 odd pegs further upstream towards Whitley Lock. I'm on peg 41 this week. The previous week, when we had an absolute nightmare of a session, was peg 63. What a difference a week makes. The weather today, lovely. It's a little bit hazy, a bit overcast. Temperatures, I don't know what they're going to get to be honest. I've looked at a few different forecasts. They're saying 13, 14, but if this cloud burns off, it could be 18 or 19, so we'll see what happens with that. Will it make the fishing any better? I don't know. Sometimes when it's bright, you know, this canal can fish hard. There is a little bit of colour in it. I wouldn't say a huge amount. The roach, I think, have probably disappeared from this section, so I've been led to believe, and therefore we might be fishing for skimmers today. But you know, you've got to target the roach stroke skimmers anyway, so I've got a nice black ground bait to fish out at 11 metres. I've got the usual tip rod approach with a heli rig set up on that. I'm going to go 2/3 of the way across this week, stick in the deep water. Right, quick talk through the peg, or the swims I should say. I've got one just down to my left hand side, just fishing basically the top four. I do have the option to fish one to my right hand side, but it is deeper there than it is down to the left. And also at 5 metres I've got exactly the same depth as I have down the tins to my left, so there's probably about 6 inches difference down to my right. These pegs fished really well last week. The winner came from somewhere in the 40s and had about 12 pound I think it was. All of the 40s fished quite well and into the low 50s, so there was some decent weights throughout this sort of length. Whether the fish are still here this week remains to be seen. Right, let's have a little look at the rigs. Right, so usual choice of floats, using the Alan Scott on AS8 float. This week we're using a gram because we haven't got the wind to contend with. There is a little bit of breeze on, but you know, nothing out of the ordinary. Down the business end, usual arrangement, so we've just got a Olivet taking up the bulk of the capacity, about 0.8 gram that, little trim shot above that, and we've got 1, 2, 3 number 10 droppers. Hook on that rig is a size 18 Drennan carbon match. And for fishing down the tins, I'm just using one of these Exner 1 gram pencil floats, so it's sort of a cross between a little stick and a pencil float, but they strike through the water beautifully, so absolutely ideal if you're trying to strike into bony mouth perch. And again, that's taken up with 0.8 gram Olivet and 3 number 10s down the line. I'm going to start off with a size 16 hook on that one. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of chop worm just down to my left hand side next to the tins, so we can fish that rig primarily for perch down the inside, but also, you know, if the fish come closer, being on a 16 with that rig, we can start bagging on it if we can get a few fish on the 5 metre line. Right, I'm going to get the rest of the bait sorted out, make up some ground bait balls, and yeah, we're probably about 25 minutes out from the all-in. Bait tray is usual affair, so I've got some nice swim stim and F1 ground bait to go in for the bream and fish on the feeder. I've got the usual mixed maggots arrangement there, some live pinkies, dead reds, dead pinkies, a little bit of hemp, some of that's going to go in the ground bait, and some worms that we're going to chop up and fish those in the feeder as well today. The ground bait for the pole line is 50/50 Sensus Black Magic and Sensus Black River, and I'm just going to be putting a little bit of hemp and some maggots and dead pinkies into that basically. Yeah, I've not brought any casters on these matches. I just feel like, you know, maggots, all you really need, a little bit of worm to try and tempt a few skimmers in, and hopefully, you know, we'll do the business from here today. So we're ready to go. I've got a ground bait ball in the cup. I'm going to push out, get these out at 11 metres to start with, and then I'm going to put 3 balls on that line, 2 balls on the inside line. Now a little bit of chopped worm, a few dead reds, and a few live maggots down the inside. Canal's clearer than it looks. You can probably see that bait a good foot plus down. So that's all the pole lines fed. Let's get out on the feeder. I'm going to put 4 or 5 in today. That's a good pull. Brilliant bite. Yeah, they ripped the rod off the rest of that one. It was on double dead red. Shaking a bit, I don't know what this is. A roach? Perch? Who knows? Oh, look at the skimmer. Angry skimmer. That's under my boot. That's not a bad start, that. Not a bad start, that one. Put back out. Another tiny little indication there. Had a little tap on the tip last time out before it ripped around. Yeah, she's gone again. So that took about 4 minutes. But just totally out of the blue, these bites. Just no movement. Well, bar the tiniest tap about 2 minutes before that went round, and then bingo. Using my 11-foot light feeder today. Just soaks these lunges up nicely. Some fishing braid, very short shock leader, so I'm quite direct on these. You feel every head turn the fish is making, shaking away these. Lovely. That's a decent fish. Come on. Oh yeah, it's a nice fish. Proper bream. That's a unit. That is a unit. Lovely. Look at that bad boy. That's the kind of start you want. Mr. Cowley, it's Christmas. There's another tap. Didn't quite rip the rod round that one though. I think maybe there's a few skimmers in the peg now. Might have had the maggots away. Right, nothing there. I'm going to try a little bit of worm here. Get the feeling there's some skimmers and more bream down there. Just going to tip this off with a dead pinky. Tiny bit of worm on. Well, the boat traffic's getting up and I'm not getting any signs on worm, so I'll have another chuck on the maggot. The lad next to me has just had a roach out on the tip, so maybe a sign that the bream have already switched off. Don't want to spend too long on this. We've had that's about 45 minutes into the match now. I think maybe the worm had been nicked on the end. I'm going to try a live red and a couple of dead pinkies on this chuck. One dead pinky. If we get nothing, I'm going on the pole. If we get a bite and it's just a roach, I'm going on the pole. If we get a skimmer, I'll stick on this a bit longer. That was a tap. There's something having a go here. Could be a roach, this. Definitely having a go. Just don't want to hit it too early in case it's a bream. But the way that was tapping, could just be a tiny skimmer. Well, I think we'll have to bring that back. Inspect the bait. And I'll maybe just have one more chuck with that combination Yeah, so the bait's not marked, so I get the feeling that was possibly a skimmer. That was another tap. So there's definitely still fish there. Have a bit of patience on this one. Because if they're good fish like the last one we got, we need them. Come on. Just about hit that. Something on that. Doesn't feel like a big fish though. So maybe there's just skimmers in there now. Dead red, dead pinky. Still feel like there's another good fish to be had out of this swim. Oh, that just about went round. Go on. Yes. Come on. Surely. It's not on. There's definitely still bream there. We've got a fish for him. Massive liner there. Nothing on. That was towing round. Right, the tip just feels a little bit too slow now. I'm sure there's still fish there. I will come back and have a look on it, but I want to go over the pole lines. They've been fed 75 minutes now, and potentially they'll need topping up if there's any fish on them. So we'll go straight on the long line, see if anything's doing. No instant response on the pole. It's going to be this quiet. We'll probably make our mind up to stay on the tip. Especially with a couple of slabs in the net. Well, one slab and a skimmer. So nothing on the tins. The lad to my left has just had a half decent fish. I took my eye off him so I didn't see what it was, but he put it in the net with his landing net and he took it on the long pole. So maybe there are a few to be had on the pole line and we just haven't found them yet. Let's try the 5 metre. Wind is terrible. Right, because the wind's getting up worse, I've set up one of these 1 gram Preston into wires. So pretty much the same setup as what we had going on with the ASA in terms of Olivet, and some number 10 droppers down the line, size 20 hook on. Just going to try it out on the long line, see if we get any better presentation using the wire stem. If I don't, I think I'm going back on the tip. I'm not getting a bite, so I think I want to go back on the tip. I'm just going to watch because I'm not really seeing anybody get a great deal out. I think, you know, if you can get one more good fish out, you're in with a good shout today. So I'm going to hang fire before I put any more bait on this long line. I might even abandon the short line, because if we can't get a bite out on the long line, then there's probably little chance of one coming inside. So I'm just going to keep my eye on the lad to my left. He's fishing a flat float. Obviously trying to beat the toe when it comes on. But it's not there all the time, so picking and choosing floats is a bit of a pain, the amount the flow is altering. Interesting, so somebody down the bank says it's pretty much completely died off since the start. So I think maybe just sitting out waiting for another big fish might be the way to go. I'm not seeing anything come out on the pole other than the odd fish that I've seen next door. So what do? Put a lump of worm on? Right, well it seems very quiet, so I think what I'll do is I'll switch the cameras off for now, and I'll report back if anything happens. Well, hopefully we caught that on camera. Bite out of the blue. And I definitely feel like feeder is the way to go today. This is on double pinky. Oh no, it's come off. That was definitely a skimmer. Can't believe it. Cannot believe it. Double pinky. Nothing wrong with the bait presentation. It's come on. Right, so apparently there's really not much coming out at all. I've heard of 5 bream down to my left somewhere. Probably about 10 pegs up, so hopefully not in my section. The chap 2 to my right apparently is getting a few on the pole, but nobody else is. I just lost a skimmer, without a doubt, on the tip. I've just cast out on this go. Definitely had a minor indication, but it's not gone. I think it's just a waiting game. I'm trying to pick off the odd fish today. But I do feel that any fish that are out there are decent ones. 2 bream. Yeah. One skimmer, 1 good one. I lost one about 20 minutes ago. Yeah. But that's first bite I've had in 2 hours. What you had? It's dire, isn't it? Right, well that's the end of the match, guys. All I got was 1 more rough on the tip. Couldn't get a bite on the pole at all today. The chap 1 down from me managed to get a decent bream on the long rod stroke bollo. So I think he'd already had 1 skimmer, so he's going to have a similar weight to me, I think. So it's going to be touch and goes to who wins that one. But whether there's much else out down my section, I'm not entirely sure. I think my section runs from 38 to 45, so we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I don't think there's been much out at all though. I think everybody's struggled. Anyway, we'll come back when we're doing the weighing. See you soon. Let's do it in section, Norm.
Alright, 1 more coming. £5. Just one more, about £6.
Yeah, I wish. I wish.
£4.7.
£1.
Ooh.
Name, sir.
Four
Pete
and a half.
Dwyer. D-W-Y-R. Pete Dwyer.
£1 4.5, mate.
Thank you.
£1 4.5.
Come to line and drink that.
Right.
About a key. Yeah. What did you say? No chance.
Well,
Who is here, Rod?
well, that's what you call
We are,
a
mate.
get out of jail fish.
Got them early.
Did you?
Yeah. That's it.
Name, please.
John Murray.
Bigger than mine, then. But I've got one more, mate.
Not enough though.
Hold on.
We've been done.
Been horrendous, hasn't it?
410.
410.
4.10.
I'll take it.
Shotgun.
Thank you. There we go. Cheers, lads.
My hands are full. Name, young man.
412 and a half.
I knew you'd do me. Yeah. I knew it when I seen his fish come out. Well done. That's the way it goes, isn't it?
It is.
And we ain't had enough at section. He's had what, 514 up there.
You need a big one today.
Yeah.
You always need a big one.
You do? Right, no doubt you've seen the weigh-in. Yeah, unfortunately he got beat by the guy on the peg next to me, John. There's been a few weights, a couple of £4.12s, £7 something's won the section. I don't know what's won the match outright, but this sounds like it's fished really hard. There's been a lot of sort of £1 odd, £2 odd. So unless you've had a couple of bream or three, then you've probably struggled. Anyway, I'll get all the sections and the main prize results up for you now. Right, I'm missing the next one in this series next week. I'm out with the Bandits at Aston Park. I hope you enjoyed this video anyway, guys. It looked like it was going to be a promising start, but unfortunately it's just all gone to pot, and everybody's really struggled for bites. Me particularly so. Just one Tommy Rough in the last 4.5 hours. But hey, that's fishing. You can't win them all. Right, thanks for watching. Until the next one, tight lines.